wanted to do was to be a mum.
Mm-hmm.
I love my science, I love a career, and I love a professional career. But I had saved enough money to be a mum, and I always was uncertain if my marriage would ever work to whoever it would be. So I should
have
enough money to bring up my children independently. And I had 2 daughters.
That's right.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And I really enjoyed becoming a sort of a stay-at-home mum till I had done it for about 4 years.
That's right.
And then I thought, I love this, but I'm not stimulated mentally. At that same time, my husband was between jobs. He said, the only way forward if we want to stay living where we are is to start our own company.
That's right.
And this was quite an interesting concept. He had an idea, a biotechnology company, but we weren't quite sure which angle to go at.
That's right.
And at that same moment, the kids came home with a letter saying that there was head lice in the school, and could check our children's hair for head lice. And the cats then came in from the garden and started scratching. And we had a friend who was a vet, and I said, if we could develop a vaccine of some kind to stop head lice, this would be really good, because so many parents are fed up with head lice in school.
That's right. Yeah.
And the vet said, I don't have something for head lice, but I have a concept of an idea for fleas, looking at your cat. So we started our whole company, biomedical company, on the basis of flea saliva. I'll tell you what, you're not pleased to get their saliva to do a test.
I could imagine that.
And that whole discussion that started in our conservatory over a cup of coffee then led to a biotech company. Very early days, it was 1 meter of bench space at a university, and the rest was done in our home. The packing of the kits and the labeling was done in the conservatory. Kids helped pack boxes.
That's right.
And from this little tiny seed or this little tiny acorn grew a plant and a tree. And that company is now, as I say, it's about 25 years old now, and it's just well established. And I'm less involved in that. In fact, very, very far removed from that now, because my life is gone. But that just shows that it's amazing what abilities you have, and often you don't tap into them, or you don't have the time. And I was lucky that my husband definitely had the courage and the foresight. He's also a hard worker. There were a lot of hours away from home for him.
That's right.
Being a mum and company. So all of a sudden then I started to go into business. So my medical science knowledge had been used. The concept of business.
Right.
And although I still wanted to be around for my kids because they were still growing up, realized that I could do some other businesses. So I signed up as the director of a management company for a housing unit, 20 different housing units, where we managed the contracts for tenants and the land, and we were responsible for the building. And then I took on another role, which actually led me into education. And that was a company that enabled teenagers to go abroad for 1 month. So it was a 1-year program where the kids had to raise money to go abroad, always to the developing world. And in that month, they had to fulfill certain tasks.
Right.
You had to do 1 week of voluntary work somewhere. And the voluntary work could be literally doing a build, or it could be teaching, or it could be entertaining. It could be anything that this country or this village needed.
Right.
There was also a week of personal development where they had to actually go on a trek. They had to climb a mountain or trek through the jungle for a week. And then there were other set theoretical ideas in this program. Students got to choose actually what they did.
Wow.
And what we loved about this program was I accompanied, along with somebody else, a team of 16 kids, teenagers, but we did not make any decisions at all. Students literally were in charge of the money and the program. They got us from A to B to C, and the first time we stepped in, it was life-threatening. So if they got on the wrong train going in the wrong direction, then
Right.
make quite sure that it's safe and that Camden get back to an international airport at the end of the month to get them home to their mummies and daddies. And no mobile phones.
No mobile phones, yes.
And that to me was when I realised the value of education. I don't think that those students had learned so much in 1 month of schooling as they learned on those 1 month exhibitions.
Exactly. The real life learning is always staying in your mind.
And even for them, they were astounded at their abilities and what they were able to do at a tender age of 16 and 17 years old. And it was working with this program with Irish schools, then asked to work with some European schools. I had a huge international background. I myself had lived in Singapore for a couple of years, India 5 years, Jordan 3 years, India 3 years, UK and Ireland. On the basis of doing this work in the international schools in Europe, I was asked into a university in Germany. We had a few challenges with integrating international students and German students.
I see, yeah.
I did a bit of team building and a few activities with students, and I was then invited to apply for a job.
Yeah.
And this was then my second profession, if you don't count motherhood. I count motherhood
as a profession as well, definitely.
My kids were now, I was empty nested more or less, they were at university. And I decided I would commute from Dublin, where I live, to Heidelberg, where I would work. And the university were fine with that, and we said we'll just see how it goes. Then get home, and during the week I would be in Germany.
Wow.
And I was working in the international office, and it just seemed really natural to me to work with all these foreign students. I could completely relate to their challenges of being away from home. I then realised the huge value of the international education. And developed lots of international programs for the university. So we went from a little department with, I don't know, I think there must have been 15 partners, perhaps 20 at the most, for students for the semester. That's it. We now have well over 100 partners for different reasons. We have multiple dual degree programs where students can earn a bachelor degree in 2 different countries or an MA or a master's. And that was kind of a natural progression, using the science as my background.
Yes.
My education as a mum and my education from international travel. And all of these things were massive chances and really frightening. To become a mum is really quite a big decision to take.
It is, yeah.
Responsibility is huge. I really saw it as a huge responsibility. To start up a company where lots of people will see that you're doing that and you don't want to fail because you don't want to be seen as a failure.
Yes.
To go and then change career again from science to education and still juggle a family in one country but you're working in another country. With support, of course, the support of your colleagues.
Yes.
But one of the things the regular thing that I faced in all of these different times was being
Yes.
one, every single time it was, but you're a woman.
Yes.
Every single time I had to do that little bit more to prove that I was equal. And it's annoying, it's challenging, but you get confidence the more you achieve, the more you get confidence. And then
that's right.
Risks and in every opportunity there is a chance. I am a very positive person, and I hope I've indoctrinated that into my 2 daughters. But without a doubt, it is more challenging being a woman today. But that said, a lot of times it's about your own character and saying, do you know what, I'm going to give this my best shot.
Right.
And it's okay to have a change of direction.
Yes.
And it's also okay to fail. It's better to have failed when you tried than to have not tried at all.
Definitely. But this is already very inspirational. And thank you very much. And I'm sure maybe in the future we can also discuss a little bit more about the happiness element and the lucky element in doing things, on how can a person achieve those. It will be really, really fantastic to learn more and more, and of course to educate other people who are watching these clips.
It's important to be happy.
Definitely.
And I look forward to talking to you again, Conrad, and it's been my pleasure. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Michelle.